Hello and welcome to A Dash of Therapy. I'm Dr. Samantha Bartram, a UK trained counselling psychologist and psychotherapist. I want to talk a bit about one thing you can do to help reduce and manage anxiety, because anxiety is something that so many people struggle with, and it tends to proliferate, and anxiety tends to create more anxiety. So people find themselves very much stuck in a cycle and a trap with anxiety. As soon as people feel anxious in my practice, and I see this so often, the automatic response is to try to push anxiety away. Obviously, nobody wants to feel anxious. It can be a horrible feeling. Sometimes it can be really unbearable too. So the instinct and the first reaction is to, I've got to get away, I don't want to feel this, and to push it away, or to distract, or to try to get away from the anxiety somehow, whether that's distraction or alcohol or food, or there can be lots of different ways people will try to avoid feeling anxious. So actually, what tends to happen is when you employ these techniques, the anxiety can get worse. So because you're pushing against it, because you're trying to fight it off and get away from it, it's actually left there. It's still there. It hasn't gone. You're just trying to not feel it in that moment. And by doing that and by not acknowledging it, what's happening is it increases. So it's like meeting contraction with contraction. That just increases the contraction and the tension that's there. Whereas what I found can really help, and it's not by any means going to completely get rid of any anxiety that's there, but what can really help just in that moment is to just acknowledge that you're feeling anxious, just to not try to run away from it or push it away or get into this battle with it, but just to say, okay, yeah, I'm feeling anxious. I know you're there. Whatever words you need to say to yourself, but just something like, okay, close your eyes for a minute, just go inward, just sit there with it and go, yes, this doesn't feel good. There's this anxiety that's here. Notice where it is in your body. Lots of people can feel it in their stomach, for example. It can feel like butterflies. It can feel like gurgling. It can feel jittery. They can feel a nervousness or an edginess. But just notice where it is in your body and just be with that and just say, okay. I acknowledge, I know I'm anxious. And perhaps you're anxious because there's a good reason. Perhaps there's something in your life right now to be anxious about. Perhaps you don't know why you're anxious. But just acknowledging that anxiety can help to just alleviate it and bring it down. Sorry, the sun's now come out. But that can just help immediately, just to bring a bit of relief, because you're not going into the battle with it. So I really recommend trying that, see how you get on, and just, it's not going to be a magic cure, but it might just help to, okay, it's there. You can't necessarily do anything about it right now, but to find a place where it's okay. It's okay. Okay, I'm anxious. This is really deeply uncomfortable, but it's okay. It will pass. Okay. And also, sometimes a nice thing to do is ask yourself, what do I need right now? In that moment when you kind of recognise and acknowledge that you're anxious, just to say, what do I need right now? What would help me in this moment right now? And just to see if an answer reveals itself. It could be, and it doesn't have to be anything, drastic. It can be something small, like I just need to go and make myself a cup of tea and sit down, or I need to call a friend and talk this through, or I need to go for a walk and get some fresh air. So it can be just something small, but actually that would make a big difference. Often the small things do, don't they? Okay. So if you liked this video or found it useful, please hit the like button. If you've got any comments, or if if you found those things helpful, if you tried those tools and see if they help, then please leave a comment. And if you'd like to receive updates about my videos, please subscribe and hit the bell.